Ride around my top down, window shaking a lot now. I'ma stay proud, no Kane Brown, but I thank God for these days now. Don't make sounds, crash glass, no rebounds. End town, Nashville, and I stay proud now. Welcome to Nashville. As always, I got my main man DeMonte to the right of me.
What's up? What's up?
Today is a very special day. I brought one of my really, really good friends, ItsBizkit, here with us today.
In the
I'm
house.
happy to be here, man. What's going on?
Doing good. As always, we got Will and Karen on the line as well. How you guys doing?
Loving life better than I deserve. That's a fact.
Nice. So Biz, man, it's been a long running, bro. Like, obviously I know you, and pretty much everyone knows you. You're the biggest blogger in the world. But what people don't know is the upbringing. Like, where did you start? What made you get into that? Like how
Well,
how hard was it for you?
I mean, honestly, it's like God's plan. I can't, you know what I mean? It's like it's God's plan, and it's a whole lot of work, and it's a whole lot of like not stopping, because once you stop, you fail once you stop trying. You know what I'm saying? Like as
Mm-hmm.
long as you keep going, and I would say that is the hardest part of the game is to keep going because every day is you get too many reasons to stop and and not continue. You might not be making money, you might not be making progress, you might not be getting support, you might be having issues with your significant other. They might be like, "Hey, you keep going to the studio, but we're not spending time." So it's like, with the hustle, the grind, and then life, it's like it's hard to just keep saying, you know what, this is gonna pay off, this is gonna pay off, this is gonna pay off. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people throw in the towel, before they get to see. It's just like planting a seed. Some people get lucky, and some people they might go viral right off of their couch, and then boom, they got a whole. Now they like doing a whole bunch of tours and bookings and stuff like that. But that's you don't really hear too many of those stories. You know what I'm saying?
So give me the story. Like,
Uh-huh.
where did you
I mean, I
start
mean, I
doing it?
I grew up in Long Island, and I was always a fan of, I want to say, the culture, hip hop. Ever since I was young, I was quick to get a FUBU shirt. I was quick to from Long Island to Staten Island to get a pair of Wallabies because of Wu Tang.
Mm-hmm.
I was always a fan of the culture. I was sneaking to concerts when I was young, before I was the biggest blogger. I would, record and document, even at Summer Jam with the flip cam when Drake first was at Summer Jam, and I snuck on stage, and Ebro was like, "What are you doing on stage?" And I'm like, "Yo, I got to see the show." You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Of
so
course.
um, I mean, just the love and the passion for the art, that just drove me. I just wanted to always have that front row seat. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
I did mixtapes back in the day, like physical copy CDs. I would take the Long Island Railroad. My boy right here with the free Fetty shirt on. He know I'm talking about the Long Island, the LIRR. I would get on the train. I would go up to the record labels, Def Jam, um, Universal, and I would go get those singles to put on my mixtape. So, it's way different from the streaming and downloading era. I literally had to spend all day just to get one record to go back home to, load it on a computer, to load it on the mixtape, to press up the mixtape, to put the CDs, and then go to the block and sell it. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Mhm.
So, I
That's
come from that's where the grind and the hustle really like came from.
yeah.
So this was off of that note, I assume that music was your first what you say that was your first passion before you start mixing it up like you are
Yeah,
today.
yeah. I was always a big fan of hip hop, and just not just hip hop, but all types of music and concerts. I always loved going to concerts, man, and I had to be backstage. I had to, I wanted to. I felt like I belonged. You know what I'm saying? In the mix. You know what I mean? So I
Mhm.
just I became the mix. You know what I mean?
Wally Biz will do that to you.
What's the funniest story about getting backstage when you weren't supposed to be there that you got? Like early on?
All right, so I always remember the first time I like did that maneuver, like snuck backstage when I had no business being
First
back
time.
there. My
Yeah.
sister brought me to Naughty by Nature, or
Ooh.
Naughty, my older sister Elise, and I think my other sister Brinker was there. So long story short, we had this Naughty by Nature concert and Hip Hop Hooray.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the biggest record ever, and you know that
Yeah.
it was just like, man. So I ended up, I forgot how exactly I think I went I was always short when I was younger, so I snuck underneath the stage, and then I actually, like, I saw Tretch, and the first thing I said to Tretch, I was like, damn, I thought you was taller, you look taller on TV.
Yeah.
Tretch,
Reality check.
he's Tretch is always
Yeah,
stocky
he's stocky.
and
Yeah.
diesel, but he wasn't as tall as he looked on TV. So I always remember that. That was
That's
funny.
so
That's
funny,
funny.
dude. The one thing I know about you that I would say, you're probably one of the most creative cats in the game, period. And even on a fashion standpoint. So like
No
you'll
doubt.
create like a Timberland that does not exist, or he'll
Yeah.
create a Nike slash Timberland,
Yeah, let's go got
or
some of those.
Open toe Tims. Damn, I'm looking
open toe
around like, man,
Tims.
I don't.
So
I'm in my studio in Deer Park. Damn, I don't have. You know what? Yeah, I don't have. But you know what I do have? I got a Timberland rug behind me. Hold on, let me see.
Oh, that's funny.
yeah. Yeah. See?
That's as New York as it gets there.
Yeah.
You got the Timberland rug.
But
Yeah, you know what it is? I had like 50 pair of Tims for no reason, and I was like, I was at my boy house, and he's like a contractor, so he always has all these tools and stuff. I'm like, I wonder how hard it is to cut open a pair of Tims,
mm-hmm.
So I cut the toe off, and then and then I was like, damn, this. I'm like, yo, this shit is open toe Tims. I'm like, yo, this is fly. Then being a carpenter, contracting type of dude he started like cutting the back open. And I said, yo, I'm gonna go to the beach and wear these.
Yeah.
And 10 million views later, it just went crazy.
Right, that's crazy.
Crazy.
That's
That's
freaking
crazy,
wild,
actually.
dude.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
seen
yeah, yeah.
I've seen
And,
videos.
and the crazy thing is, like, even with the Air Forces, just like cutting open the toe, um, Balenciaga and all of these sneaker
Yeah,
brands started doing the open toe sneakers and shoes. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That was
Too bad I
probably
didn't get no
I was
coins
about to
off of
say
that.
you started a trend
yeah,
that
he
you.
started
I
the
mean,
Yeah.
trend.
you may not even be blogging right now had you
Oh,
opened that up
Yeah,
to the
man.
fashion world.
Biz is the
I'm
king of
definitely.
trends.
I'm like, I haven't dropped nothing. I still have a lot of like things that I designed and
Yeah,
other things that I cut up. But I'm I'm trying to cash out now, so I'm not as quick to just post and get those 10 million views, on the internet, whatever. I'm trying, because people, they'll screenshot it, they'll take it and run with it, and you know,
what does that feel like to open up and find out? Well, one, the night before you sat there and watched it keep climbing all the views, and then you wake up the next
yeah.
morning and you're sitting there with 10 million views on one video.
Yeah.
What exactly is that
I'll tell
feeling?
you,
Is that because
I'll
we're
tell
trying
you
to
the
get to that feeling?
Yeah.
yeah, no, I tell you the craziest thing, during the pandemic, um, it was just a lot going on, and I was so, I'm always like, I'm heavy on social media and on the internet, but I like to socialize. I like to go out and meet people
Yeah,
and
Hmm.
interact with people in the real world. I'm not just somebody that's just like locked in a room on my phone or whatever. So um during the pandemic, everything got shut down, and I didn't even realize how much outside I was until like outside was shut down,
right,
and
Hmm.
I
right,
felt like a prisoner in my own home.
right.
So I uh I said, you know what, let me take a drive. You know what I mean? Let me take a and I was in Long Island at the time. I started driving towards upstate, and then I got to Bear Mountain, and I pulled over, and then I actually jumped in. And at that time, everything that was getting posted on social media was like George Floyd.
Mhm.
You would see people in body bags. You know, it was just
All the bad.
everything was bad. You
Yeah.
know, whether
All
you're
the
watching
bad.
the news
Yeah.
or you're on your phone, everything was like, you know, it was hard to just keep watching that
Yeah.
stuff. So I jumped on Instagram Live, and everybody that was on the live, they was like, "Yo, we love you, Biz. Yo, you always positive." And then like I did a video saying, "Yo, if you got love for somebody, send them this video,
Yep.
you
Yeah.
know, and you
Yep.
know,
I was
and
just
protect your mental health." You know, I just was speaking to, you know, my live, you
Right.
know,
mhm.
and that day I literally I posted. I got off a live, and you know, sometimes when you go off live, you forget to share it or save it. So
Mhm.
I was like, "Oh man, I didn't save the live." So I just literally did the video over,
Oh, gotcha. What you? Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and I
Oh wow.
posted it, and I said, "Yo, I'm not gonna be on social media for the rest of the day." I was done. I put I put my phone in my pocket, and I drove off. And you know, now I'm like looking up wherever a nice, decent restaurant is. My phone kept vibrating, just like Karen's was vibrating earlier. My phone was going crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man. I open up. My boy goes, "Yo, do you know Janet Jackson?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course. Who don't know Janet Jackson? You know." I'm like, I can't text her, but of
Yeah.
course I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, she posted your video. She's like, my boy said she posted your
Wow.
video on Twitter. So I go on Twitter,
Wow.
and I'm like, oh wow, Janet, you know, she posted my video on Twitter. Then I open up Instagram. It was already at 1 million views on
Wow.
Instagram. Drake told me
Whoa.
Snoop had sent it to him. Um, Snoop started following me. I
No
mean,
shit.
Yeah,
that
Wow.
that's it. Yeah.
that video just went like that one was like the one.
I was just about to
Did
ask, was
did
that
you
because
say
that's normally what you ask?
wait,
What was the one
did you
that?
That was
say
the one.
Yeah.
did
That
you
was the
say
one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Drake
Drake.
sent it to Snoop or whatever?
Yeah, Drake had DM me. He said Uncle Biz is out here giving positive vibes. He
I mean,
said
he said it so casual, like it was,
Yeah.
like
he
Let
said
Drake just do Uncle
yeah,
Biz.
it's
yeah,
just Drake.
he said Snoop, he's like Snoop sent it to him or whatever. And yeah, that was the one. Cause like, you know, my mother is like, you know, yo, Ma, Janet Jackson posted my video, you know what I mean? Like,
Yup. Hell yeah.
yeah,
When Jan
that was and again it I started a trend with that as well, because like everybody started doing those type of videos. Yo, if you
Yeah.
got love for somebody, send them this
Yeah, that's
video.
I
right.
literally just
mhm.
put one on my story today. I mean, no
Yo,
lie,
that's
of
what
this
the world
So
random dude. I
needs.
don't know
so
him, and I put
so
it
I'll
out there
tell you,
today.
circling back, you mentioned Outside, right? Now you have a record called Outside with
Yep.
Jadakiss and Dream Doll. So like in
Jada
the
Mm.
Kiss
whole
and Dream Doll.
COVID thing, with
Mhm.
all COVID going on and stuff like that, you were a huge advocate for people getting outside and
Yeah,
move.
see, you know, like I'm a marketing genius. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm really tap like that's what I like. I like marketing. You know, like I'm really good
Mm.
at marketing. So, I put out this record Outside, and when I put it out, about time I released it and started shooting a video for it, Outside like got shut down because of pandemic.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But what happened was I jumped on TikTok, and people started like working out and doing videos to my song outside, because you know it was like everything was getting shut down, so the
Mm.
gyms was closed, so people started literally working out, doing like these videos to my song. So I'm like, cause once the pandemic started, I'm like, how did I drop a record called We Outside, and now
Yeah.
we inside?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
everyone's
Right.
So,
inside.
so I kind of like, you know, just left, you know, just all right, whatever. But once I started seeing people like naturally just, you know, because like being outside was kind of like a privilege, you know what I mean? So people, that was like the anthem for people that was still outside, you know, whether they had a mask on, whatever. They was just, it was like, we outside with it, you know?
Mhm.
So now this is when the verses started getting popular,
Hmm.
and Jadakiss and Fabulous, they had a verses, but you know everybody was watching it on their phones because outside was still shut down.
Mhm.
So I hit up Jada, and I'm like, "Yo, I got this record that's going viral on TikTok, and you know I need you to get on it." and he was like, I gotta hear it, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna pull up on you. So I pulled up on him, and he was in Yonkers. I'm in Long Island again. Long Island, you gotta travel far to make it.
Yeah.
You gotta travel all types of places. So I got out to Yonkers. I linked up with Jada, and I told him, I said, look, I said, I got this record. It's called We Outside with it. I said, yo, if you say things like flow sicker than the COVID,
Mm-hmm.
entanglement with
Tied in.
Will Smith and
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jada
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
happening, I'm like, yo, I said, look, I'm not telling you how to rap, like,
yeah,
you're one of the greatest rappers ever.
Yeah,
But if you say some of these lines, I'm like, yo,
it's gonna pick
we
up.
really will be
Yeah,
outside. And
yeah.
he looked at me and he was like, yo, I already got the first couple bars. You could go back home. You could go back to Long Island. I got you, Biz. And
Uh,
and now once he called me the next day or 2 days after that, and he's like, he's like, yo, I did the verse. Yo, like, I usually know exactly what to do when these things happen. Yo, once, like, when somebody gives you the pass,
yeah,
I literally was like just holding the
He's-
ball, like, whoa. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
yeah.
Like, I wanted it, but now I got it. So
yeah.
now I had to pull back up on him to get some advice with releasing it, because I wanted to make sure everything lines up.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And Funk Flex dropped bombs. I was like really just trying to like get that proper rollout for it. So long story short, it's still COVID. It's like second quarter COVID. Now my boy had a big house in Dix Hills, and he was having these little parties. So I went, and
COVID
might have been
parties.
like 10 girls there, maybe like 10 girls. And the DJ there, I give her the record because all my boys know I got this Jadakiss verse. So they like, yo,
10
we want to
girls.
hear it. So I gave the DJ to play it. So now while the DJ's playing the record, I'm watching all of the girls, how they
Hmm.
react. So once, it's like we outside with it, and then the Jada verse, and then I had a verse on it. I'm like, nah, I need a girl on here to say me and my bitches out. Pardon me, Karen. Me and my bitches outside.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I need that. So now, mind you, I'm in the pool. I'm looking for my phone in the pool. I probably had a bunch of drinks at that moment, but I'm like,
Yeah.
and I'm thinking like, what female could I get on this record? And at the time, Megan Thee Stallion was like
Hmm.
she
Ooh.
had whatever record at the time, but I'm like, damn, I don't, I'm about to release this record Friday. It was like Tuesday. You know what I mean? So I'm panicking. I'm like, I got to get a girl on this record. I like stopped everything I was doing. Now the DJ happened to play Dream Doll's record. We in the building. We in the party. We in the I'm like, yo, where's my phone? I gotta call Dream Doll. I need you. I called her. I'm like, yo. She's like, is everything okay? I'm like, no, is everything fine.
Are you okay?
I need you on this record. I'm dropping it Friday, and it got Jadakiss on it, so I need you to like talk that talk,
Hmm.
and say Breonna Taylor, say rest in peace to Pop Smoke, all of these things. So
Yeah,
that's I don't even think I ever got to really tell that story, but
yeah.
that's
That's
how it
That's
happened.
dope
crazy.
though.
That's
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
the crazy part though is that I mean, literally everybody was locked inside. So
Yeah.
but how things align and work out is that
Mhm.
outside
Yeah.
went crazy after we could finally get
Mhm.
outside. So
Mm.
you're doing this. I mean, like you're running ahead of the game, not even, like you thought you were
Hmm.
ahead of the game before we got locked down. So you're like, no, I love being outside. Let me drop something called outside because I love this. We get locked inside and then it blows up on the back
Hmm.
end.
I was disappointed because I was so gun
Yeah.
ho. And I told my mans like that, always be with me. I said, yo, we going everywhere 30 deep, and we going up, we
Yeah.
turning up,
Yeah. Yeah.
like, and that was the plan. And then like I left the record alone, and then the people like doing the workout videos. That's what another thing too with marketing. I got a big following on Instagram. So what I started doing, like before they started with the reels, because
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
TikTok influenced Instagram to do
Mhm.
reels
Yeah.
and to start
Yep.
paying people, to post on Instagram,
Right.
because TikTok was paying. That's why TikTok took over, because these creators is like, wait, I could do
I
my
can get
videos
paid
on
here.
here and
Yeah.
I can
Right.
get
Right.
paid.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I started putting the outside with it to a lot of viral videos of people being outside, and that there's a lot of and even Jadakiss, like I saw him like months after, and he was like, "Yo, you worked the hell out that record," like
That's smart though.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
crazy.
that's smart. I mean, it really
So
is.
look, being friends with Kiss and Fabulous, who won the verse battle?
Oh no, Jada won that. See that was one of the versus battles that it was like clear. It was like a
clear winner.
clear winner.
Yeah.
That was. And again, I feel like
Fab's dope though too.
No. That's the thing.
Oh.
Of course, Fab. There was a lot of people that was thinking Fab was gonna win, but the thing was, Jadakiss was way prepared. He was prepared.
Not gonna lie, I think that was the
he-
key of the verses too, though. Because I mean, if you think back on watching some of them, when it
Yeah.
looked like somebody just literally walked up on stage and just like, let me pull
Yeah,
my
and
notes out right here and start,
Mhm.
versus the people that actually had their
Jadakiss
lineup
is
prepared, and it's a mini concert at that point.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
you
Jada,
don't pay money to go to a show and somebody guessing it what's the next song. You got your set ready to go, and I mean, so I agree with that. The ones for me
Jadakiss
were the ones that were prepared.
Jadakiss's engineer,
Yeah.
his engineer, Hoobs, was telling me like they basically picked out like Fab's, in their opinion, like Fab's best. Like, yo, if Fab does this record, we in trouble. And he said once they started, Fab didn't even like do none of those records. So
Yeah.
they was like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? So again, it was like it was about being prepared for that,
Yeah.
Mhm. Hell yeah. Yo, how did you what was the video I saw of you and Fab? You were wearing something like some sort of
Oh, yeah.
shoes or whatever, and he walks by you and
Yeah.
sees you and he's like, wait a sec. or
No,
whatever.
this was another random. So with the Timberlands and having 50 pairs and 50 pairs of Air Forces, I'm like, man, I want to see how a Nike check will look on a Timberland boot.
Oh, that's
So
it.
so it started with the check. And again, see, this is a collab, which again, if Timberland and Nike ever do this, it wouldn't have enough pairs because they'll just. I know I would buy a pair.
Yeah.
Probably 2 pairs.
Yeah, fuck, I'll buy a pair.
Yeah.
I wanted to see how the Nike, the Nike Air Force white check will look on a Timberland. So I put the check on it, and then I said, you know what? I need to turn the Air Force toe in on the Timberland also. So
wow.
there's a lot of
That's
it was a lot of pieces to that puzzle. But like when it was all said and done, I created the Air Force Tim.
Yeah.
Air Force.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
So when I put it on, I'm like, I need, with me, it's like I gotta go all the way. I can't half step, So I had to.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what is an outfit I could wear with these Air Force Tims that'll like kill it? I don't want to wear nothing regular. You know what I mean? So I hit up my boy that I'm giving y'all all of the behind the scenes.
Exclusive.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Getting a
I
little
love
exclusive
it.
here.
I got a guy that does a lot of like clothes. He has like manufacturers in Pakistan and all that stuff, and he can get stuff quick. So I told him, I said, "Yo, I want a ramen noodle suit, a hoodie,
Yeah.
and a pants.
Yeah.
I want the hoodie and I want the pants, just like the packaging.
Yeah.
I want that to be on the pants and the hoodie. I want one suit." So he's like, "All right, when you want it?" I said, "Yo, I'm going to expedite it, pay for it, whatever. I don't care about shipping. I need it ASAP Rocky, And once I got it, I wore it the same day. As soon as it came in, my wife was like, that is so, my wife is like, that is so ugly. You better not go nowhere with that on. I'm like, all right. And it was Fashion Week.
That's funny.
It's bad, dude.
So
we're riding high amongst all the designers.
it was Fashion Week. So now
This is great.
I leave Long Island and I'm driving to the city, and it's mad traffic. Mad traffic. By the time I got out to the city, I'm doing videos. I'm trying to like get this outfit out there,
Yeah.
And it's Fashion Week in New York,
I'm trying to get this outfit
it's ridiculous. People look how they want to look that day, So my boy
It's like Halloween.
my boy Tadal, Keenan is his nephew. So he saw that I was in the city, I think, or he randomly just hit me up or whatever. He's like, "Yo, you in the city?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Yo, we're taping Saturday Night Live tonight with I don't even know if he said Meek Mill or Fab or whatever, but he just told me to pull up, and I happened to be in the area. I was in the city
with his new suit on.
so I come through with the ramen noodles
Oh my
and the Air
God.
Force Timbs on, and Meek Mill was walking to the stage. Saturday Night Live is live.
Yeah.
So they was like, they was walking them out, and they're like, "Yo, come on," and he saw me, so he's going up to his manager, and he's asking his manager for his phone. So Meek Mill, and I think Snapchat was like on steroids at the time. I think Snapchat was like the app. So Fab grabbed his phone. Now Fab is recording me on Snapchat, and Meek Mill is recording me on his IG
That's
story.
funny, man.
And this is when Meek Mill just came home from prison. I think I'm not sure how much time he did, but that was like when he got released.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
his Instagram was like
Lit
on
up.
steroids.
Yeah.
So when he posted, that was another time I went crazy viral.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's funny.
Wow.
In a noodle suit.
Yeah,
Yup.
dude, that's
I
freaking.
want that. I want one.
Will, I
Yeah.
can see you
And that's
rocking
the
that,
thing
Will.
too. Like this
Yo,
year,
I'm
I'm planning on, because I got hit with a lot of cease and desist. I got sued a bunch of times. I came up with
Oh,
anything is
no
that makes
possible.
shit.
sense.
I came up with anything is possible, and so what I did with anything is possible, I took the Henny label, and I just put Henny thing, and then right here I put ItsBizkit.com, and
Yeah.
and
Hell yeah.
that was going viral as well. I had a video pouring it in Frosted Flakes and eating it with the hoodie on.
That's
Yeah.
funny. That's
So
funny, bro.
so everybody, like the shade room. This is when
Yeah.
This is when like a blue check like meant something.
Yeah,
Like
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
it might have been like 5
Rest in
blue checks
peace,
out there.
blue check.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think I saw one laying out on the curb earlier when we walked in.
Yeah.
Pretty sure there was one on the concrete out there
Yeah.
when we walked in today.
I think at that time the shade room had like 2 million followers, which was like
Yeah, that's nuts.
nobody had 2 million
At the
followers. It was
time,
like the
anyway. Yeah.
craziest number to get.
Jeez.
And so they posted my video of me eating the Frosted Flakes with the Henny. So everybody in the comments was like, "Yo, where'd you get that hoodie from?" So me, I'm a hustler. I'm staying up for 5 hours responding to every comment. Link in my bio. Link in my bio. Link in my bio. Link in my bio. To anybody that I saw with that comment, I'm linking my bio. And
Bro, that's
I,
a good note though.
I brought my house 6 years off of anything is possible.
But
in Long Island.
how do you even find time though? I mean, because like I told Dave, we were coming in. I was like, this man got 800,000 plus on IG, 21,000 posts out there. That is a constant, and that's the game. Like we're learning that. Dave's been in the game for a minute. With the music and everything. Will they played the social media game. So for me, now that I've actually been paying attention, now that we started this, so I was like, okay, let's go see the subscribers. Let's go do this. But it is constant. Like to remain is constant, and for that kind of volume, for you to own that kind of volume and stay on top of that kind of volume, it's insane. Whether you're taking an original video or if you're taking something that you're just gonna plug and now put your touch on it. How and when do you find time to even lay your head down and go to sleep to be able to reset and do it again the next day?
He does it.
Yeah, it's my life,
Yeah.
it's like I feel like there's some people that like play video games a lot, and whether they're good at it, bad at it,
Yeah.
that's what they do. Some people play sports. I do a lot, but there's a lot of things I don't do as well.
Yeah.
But like with this new year coming up, I'm planning on, like, I like to travel. Like that's the thing, I'm old enough to like know what I like to do, know what I don't like to do. Kind of like I kind of could go somewhere and like I know if I'm gonna stay there or if I'm just gonna be like, yo, it's nice meeting y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm in tune with
With that,
me.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like this new year coming up, I'm planning on getting a little more into sports, like the sports world, which again, I I don't hate on it. It's not like I don't, I get invited to games, but like I want to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I want to like actually know who's playing though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because
Right.
I went to MetLife Stadium in Jersey to a game because I'll be working with like Starter. And they invited me to a suite. And like when I was there, I like it's a different world.
Yeah.
The sports world is a
Mm.
different
Yeah.
world.
That live
But
feed
it's
is
like
different.
once you're around that energy, you get it. You understand it. So it's like I want to
Mm-hmm.
tap more into the sports world. And every month in 2024, I'm gonna travel somewhere that I've never been.
That's cool.
Like I've never been to Dubai.
Have
I
you
just
been
want
to
to like
Have you been to
try.
That's it.
Nashville,
That was my
Biz?
next question. I'm like, man, because we're on the
You know what's
Dubai list. I
crazy?
mean, it's like Dubai
And then
and then
Nashville.
Nashville.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they told you that
Nashville.
before
I
you
only
got
said
on, but
Dubai.
it's
Only
pretty
said
close.
Dubai because I only said Dubai because I'm feeling to bring the open. I already know what I want to look like.
I
I
got you.
already know I
The
want to
open
bring the open toe. I want to have the open toe Tims with the
out
camel.
in the
Like I
middle of
want
the
to.
summer.
Hell yeah.
I mean,
If he
desert.
brought the open
I've been
toe
had that
Tims with the
vision for a
camo
long
to
time, so I
Nashville,
want to.
that would send a trend too.
It actually would.
Yeah,
If you brought it
I don't
to
think I've ever been in Nashville.
Yeah,
Dude,
we gotta fix that.
Nashville is the #1 party
We gotta
capital
fix
of
that.
the world. So like Broadway in Nashville is
Yeah.
basically Vegas 10
Yeah.
years ago or
We gotta
whatever.
fix
Yeah.
that.
Wow,
Is Broadway right
I've
now.
been to Vegas. I've been to Vegas a bunch of times.
It's crazy.
Vegas is cool. Not cool as Nashville.
So Biz, every
Yeah.
week we've been doing these 3-minute rants, bro. So you're gonna be our judge today.
Like a Kanye rant.
Yeah, like a Kanye rant.
Hey, man, that's what we're trying to
you
get. He
know.
may be channeling today,
You
though. He
know.
came on with his free Fetty t-shirt,
Yeah,
so
he came on with the
he
free
may come
Fetty
in with a
t-shirt.
different attitude.
Will, you got a good topic this
Yeah.
week, you think?
Yeah. The topic is flat earthers.
Is what?
Flat
Flat
earthers.
earthers.
Flat earthers.
You better
Alright.
start the timer before I get rolling.
Yeah. Hold on,
Because-
wait. Ready? I'll tell you. Hold on. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, flat earthers. We're talking about these people who have somehow come to believe deeply, not just hey, maybe the earth is flat and you should think about it, but they will argue with you to the bitter end to defend this. Now, here's the thing. The whole flat earther phenomenon was started, and here's my theory, very, very cleverly by some epic trolls. We're talking some super smart MIT motherfuckers probably said, you know what? I bet we can prove to everybody else on planet Earth how stupid humans can be if we can trick people into thinking the Earth is flat. Now remember, we knew the Earth was round and a sphere all the way in 5 BC. We're talking long time ago, pre-modern era motherfuckers figured out that the earth was fucking round. And then we proved it later in life with all the other technology and mathematics that we have. We have awesome, beautiful views of our planet with satellites that are way the hell out there. But these flat earthers, they're out there fighting us and trying to make us all think that this shit is fucking flat that we live on, which blows my mind. So going back to my theory, trolls. The motherfuckers were sitting around one day and said, yo, I bet we can trick some motherfuckers into thinking the earth is flat. Let's try it. So how we do it? And they sat there and they worked some shit out and they drew some fucking stuff on maps and they started making some YouTube videos. Because trust me, this would never be possible without modern social media and technology like YouTube and stuff. So they put out these bogus stuff that they put a lot of time and effort into. And people start soaking it in. And they're like, holy shit. Because you know how it is. If you see it on the internet, if you see it on YouTube, it's
real.
got to be true. And nobody, this is my problem with the world we live in today. Nobody has the ability to think, to look and observe at what's happening and think. And that's I think what pisses me off, because if people did a better job of just paying attention and going, well, yeah, makes sense. Then hey, look, wow. But you know what? This is why the world sucks that what we live in right now. Why? And it's because of stuff like flat Earth even being a thing, and that is nobody has the mental ability to discern between what is real and what is fake. Nobody pays fucking attention in school. Nobody learns a goddamn thing. So then they come out, they see a stupid video with somebody that has a little bit of charisma, and they go, "Oh fuck, the Earth is
A
flat.
little
All
bit of
right,
Yeah.
off
That's
we go."
time.
So that's my rant for the day. Flat Earthers, fuck off. The Earth is a goddamn sphere.
Hey,
All right, Biz. So, what do you think about today's history class?
I mean, listen, all I gotta do is tell you, man, I got a good friend by the name of Murder Mook. He's like one of the greatest battle rappers ever.
hmm
And he will definitely go back and forth with you for at least 3 minutes about why the
Fuck
earth
off, Murder
is
Mook.
flat.
Go read the shit they put together back in 5 BC, my
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
are
we gotta
you are
great, we gotta revisit that because that'll be viral because Mook is
yo,
very
you ain't
Yeah.
convincing
Ooh,
me.
Yeah.
yeah.
Trust me. Trust
hey, you know
me.
what's funny though?
Look.
Have a debate.
There's not
hmm
I'm
Yeah,
just
let's have a
you know
fucking debate. God damn.
what time.
I'm
Yeah.
just
Why is there not a single motherfucker on the planet with a PhD going, yep, this
I got
motherfucker's
I got
flat?
I got
They
a
don't care.
jeweler.
They're not watching
I
it.
got a jeweler making
Yeah.
me a chain right now, and it's gonna be the biggest blogger in the world. And it's not gonna be flat.
It's a,
It's gonna be,
it's a
yeah.
circle.
Yeah.
it's gonna, you know what I mean?
Hey,
Yeah, I mean, it's like there are certain places of the earth you can go to, and you won't be able to see the North Star. I wonder why. Like, fuck off, flat
why?
earthers. Give me a fucking
And
break. Are you kidding me?
I think the same thing. Going back to the whole Vegas conversation right before this, they didn't put a flat spear out there that they put the Earth on.
Wait, I
Yeah.
was gonna say,
We've
what
all
does a
seen a
flat
new
world
spear
look
that
like?
looks like the Earth that we all
Yeah.
kind of know. But on the flip side, I mean, to their credit, I'm 48. I've walked around a lot. It's always been flat every time I take a step, Will. So I don't know, bro. You may have an argument. You may have an argument both
Man,
ways.
man, I tell you. I
But
tell you.
all right, so Biz, getting back to you, man. I've seen endless amounts of videos. Obviously, you have a huge celebrity backing, people that actually come up to you to take photos. But like I see A-list celebrities walking up to Biz to take pictures with Biz. Um, DJ Khaled, even or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Khaled, you know the cool thing about Khaled, it's like, man, it's just energy. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
Khaled, like I tell people all the time when it comes to like a brand, a product, promoting your stuff, I always say, look at what Khaled does. You know what I mean? Because even though he has in his studio, in his house, he has a plaque on all of the walls, and his house is, his house is a mansion. But when he's about to drop a project, when he's putting out a new sneaker with Jordan, you know about it.
Yeah.
Whether you want to know or don't know, Father of Assad, January 23rd. Like,
Yeah.
his release date, he goes crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I've always been a fan of Khaled. The first time I went to Miami, I linked up with him and Ace Hood. So it's like with Khaled, it's like family. You know what I mean? And he's always very supportive. Um, I know that he really took a liking on, the way that I would like, move around with my kids. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like because when he first started following me, like my first son, my firstborn that has autism, I always like did a lot, with him. Like anywhere I would go, I would bring him with me, because I didn't have a father coming up, and I always said like, whenever I do have kids, if I ever had kids, I'm gonna be with my kids, no matter,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
my father
Amen.
excuse was like, my
And
mother or whatever, but it's like I always was like, yo, if I had a son, I'm bringing my son everywhere with me. You know what I
mhm.
mean? And again, not for social media,
Yeah, yeah.
like I'm doing it,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
that's what,
being the
dude.
dad that you're
I
supposed to be.
literally was gonna say that earlier. Like, Biz is everything or whatever that people see. Plus, he's a phenomenal father.
Yeah.
So,
Mm.
which is
Yeah,
hard. So like I'll call
We're all
him.
dads. We know.
I'll
Like
call
it's
him like, and
yeah.
Yeah, no,
I'll
kids is
Yeah.
I'll call
it's
him. I'll
you
be like,
know
Biz, what are you doing? Like, and he's like, oh, I'm putting the kids down,
Yeah.
or like hanging out with the
yeah.
kids or whatever.
Yeah.
Like he's
Yeah,
very involved.
once you call me, you say, "Yo, what are you gonna be doing at 3?" I'm like picking my kids up from school.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
But honestly, I mean,
Every
you know,
day.
like I said, I mean, being a parent, we get it, bro. It's one of the hardest jobs
Yeah,
you'll ever do.
and I judge a lot of people how they, like all of my friends and all of the people that I associate myself with, like they're on the same type of time.
Yeah.
Like
Hmm.
you ain't taking care of yours, I can't really respect that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Hmm.
Yeah.
you have to take care of yours. If you're not taking care of yours, and again, you could chase your dream, you can do things, but if you got to get a job, if whatever you got to do to provide for yours, that's a real
That's
individual.
yeah.
That's
Hmm.
a real
Yeah.
person.
Yeah. Yeah.
You gotta.
Well, yo,
Some people have too
father.
much pride, and they want to be something that they're chasing something. But at the end of the day, I always tell people impress home before you impress the streets.
Yep.
Yeah,
Hmm.
man. Yeah, fatherless families is probably one of the biggest problems for any crime statistic you can find.
Yeah, I told my mother too, like a few years back, I was like, yo, I apologize for being such a knucklehead because I'm like, it's me and my wife, and it's like we have 3 kids. My mother had 4, you know, taking care of 4 kids by herself, working, going to
Mm.
school, doing what she had to do. And I'm like, damn, I could have been a good kid at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know
like
that
damn,
that don't register back then. I mean, you start, and we've talked about this on other shows. You know, you start as you mature, you start appreciating, especially when you're now tasked with keeping somebody alive yourself.
Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah.
think, and I
Right.
just told somebody, earlier, I was like, there's a light that nobody has to train you. You know, like it's a switch that just goes off that you could have been whatever you were before. You now make a decision that I have a human in front of me that I got to keep alive, and that's your job.
yeah.
That's your main
Hmm.
job.
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
I
so
just went to my son. My son Davian. I just went. He goes to special needs school in out here in Long Island,
yeah,
in Dix Hills, James E. Allen, and they had a school a Christmas
the program.
function,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I sat there with my wife and I'm watching all of these kids with special needs, and every situation is
yeah,
different, but just watching those kids on stage and watching the parents and the teachers, I'm looking at my wife. I'm like, man, God bless those teachers and stuff,
yeah,
because having a kid and taking care of a kid is one thing, but man, being those teachers and stuff like that, I'm like, I give those people so much credit
Hmm.
because you be wanting to kill your own kids
hey, you
sometimes. Like,
do.
yo,
Yep,
Yeah.
yep,
Yeah.
it's so frustrating. So to take on that task
yeah,
is like,
Hmm.
I take my hat off to anybody that steps into that field and performs
yeah.
like the way that they do, because man, you got
Dude,
to have a
having
different heart.
so like
You know
having
what? I'm gonna move my whole family to
All right,
Nashville,
man. I'm
man.
gonna tell
yeah,
you, it's a
exactly.
simple but cool way of life. I'm just saying. Like
Hmm.
so,
It is. It's
it really
awesome.
is.
Yeah,
I don't.
I came up with a brand called, you see that painting right there that says, I don't know if you guys can see it. It says
Washed.
washed.
Yeah.
Washed. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm,
I came up with that's another thing that I've done with fashion and merchandise. I started wearing these shirts called wash, because once I started having kids, I'm telling all my homies that want to bring me to the strip club, I'm like, bro, I'm washed. You know
yeah.
what I'm
Wow.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Like I'm watching Netflix. I'm in the crib. I'm washed. You know what
that's
I'm saying?
funny.
Like
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
so that a lot of people are washed. So it's
yeah.
like we represent this wash life,
Right.
which is parenthood. You know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
we make it cool. We cool parents.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
That's
Hell
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
honestly, that is pure genius.
Yeah,
That
I
is. I
love
Wow.
it.
love that.
It
Better
yeah.
than
is.
not washed.
Will, so we got about 3 minutes left on the show. You have any
Do I
final?
get to rant for 3 minutes?
You
Oh,
can.
you got to now.
Yeah. Will, you got any final questions for Biz that you want to ask him?
Oh man, just like one once
This is
once
heavy, Will,
everything
but I'm
really.
pulling this out for you. because you
Oh,
see,
nice.
you know,
Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
this is
Hell yeah.
granted. This thing is heavy. It's
Wow.
heavy.
Dang, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's
That is
dope.
That is
freaking
freaking
awesome.
crazy.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I
No,
just want to show you the Long Island.
you know, just like I can't even I guess, you know, because I just try to like live vicariously through all these great stories that we get to listen to every week. And so I guess, you know, it's just kind of like how does you know, like what kind of doors opened, you know, and it wasn't one of those things where like after that was it like, yo, you just hop in someone's DMs and they write back, or like, you know, people start reaching
Yeah,
out to you like,
I'm very like organically connected. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm all like even with me and Gray relationship, most of my relationships come from, you know, the relationship I got with Drake was because I went viral. That's another time. You know what, one day I'm gonna count how many times I went viral. Like but Drake
yeah,
when Drake was like having a rap feud with Meek, Funk Flex was like on Meek's side. You know what I mean? Funk Flex, I guess, don't like Drake or whatever it is. So Flex was actually in Long Island, Patchogue, at this spot called Emporium. And while he was DJing, he goes, F this Canadian guy, you know, on stage.
Yeah.
And I was on stage and I was, you know, I had a drink in my hand and I made a face. I'm looking at him like what? And my reaction went viral. That's what got Drake following me.
Oh,
You know
that's
what I'm
funny.
saying? I was
wow,
like,
That's funny.
yeah, that had to be like at least probably like 5 years ago or something like that. Yeah. So
That's
you know,
man,
yeah,
that's
I'll,
crazy.
I'll I'll send you these videos too. They all
But
out there.
that's
They
how
all
you know.
out
Yeah.
That's how you know
wow,
your life is going right, though.
Yeah.
When you sit there in a reaction based off of something somebody else
So
said,
yeah,
like
and that
it's
and
uh-huh,
even the funny part with that, once my camera guy at the time, Jadakiss, actually had a performance. It was like one of his album release parties or whatever at the time. So I told him, I said, yo, if you come to Long Island, I'm gonna pull up, you know. I gotta pull up and show love. So my camera guy, he was like, yo, you want me to come and get some footage? And I'm like, nah, we got a lot of stuff with Jade. I'm like, I think we good, but he still attended.
yeah.
And I didn't even tell him to start recording while Flex was even DJing, but it just happened. He caught it. And I'm talking about, I tweeted it. I said, yo, this video is funny. I just watched it like 10 times. It's definitely going to go viral. Now, the next day, me and my wife, we had to go to a wedding. And I know she's not going to be, you know, my wife is not too much of a fan of me being on the phone all the time, you know?
yeah, yeah.
I'm
You
like,
know that life,
we
Dave.
I'm
get
trying
that
to get this
anymore.
video out here. I'm trying to get this video out though, because it's one of them. Yo, about time I had a girl that worked at Ball Alert at the time. So I'm going to send it to her. She's like, yo, Biz, that video's everywhere. We posted it. Complex posted it. I was like, word?
Yeah.
And
Oh
I didn't even know
Wow.
Drake was following me. Like at back the old Instagram used to say like they used to say like somebody's following you or whatever,
Mhm.
however it
Yeah,
was.
mhm.
So a lot of Drake fans kept commenting on my post like Drake liked this picture or Drake followed you. So I'm like, so I go to type in his name. I'm like, I'm spelling champagne wrong. Then I'm like,
Yeah.
there's so many different champagne poppies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So then I saw his account, and I'm like, oh, he is following me. So I followed him back, and I DM'd him. I'm like, yo, I was like, yo, I'm charged up, you know, because he had like a song called "Charged Up" at the time.
Mhm.
And then he was like, yo, that video was hilarious, da da da. And you know,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
we've
that's
been
cool.
tight ever since, you know.
That's cool.
Wow.
That's
That's a
cool.
Mhm.
That's the best.
that's a
That's
cool
the
That's
friend to
really
have.
That
cool.
reminds me
And
of how I met you, bro.
I've lost a million followers as well. I got my last Instagram deleted and I never got it back. So
Oh,
Oh
oh.
shit.
yeah, I had to literally start from the bottom, you know, again, like,
Oh,
you know.
hey, you're doing all right, man. You got 800 plus.
Yeah.
You'll keep churning.
Yeah, you'll keep.
Yeah,
I'm just telling you, man, like I got knocked off my
yeah.
horse, you know what I
You'll
mean?
be all right,
I know
man.
how that is though.
oh, that's. I
When I
bet
did
that's
the
gutted.
when I did
Gutted.
the celebrate video with Snoop Dogg, my Instagram got completely shut
Oh, I
down
didn't know that.
during. Yeah, I
Okay.
had to start from scratch or
Oh,
whatever.
okay.
Yeah.
From when I did it, because Snoop did a post with us, and
It done.
at the time, Instagram's like algorithms or
Mhm.
whatever, like I went from like 3,000 profile visits to like 300,000
So
in
you
a
done
matter of
popped
like
it.
seconds.
Yeah.
So they shut me down,
Yeah.
and there was nothing I can do.
Yeah.
I restarted.
Which, I mean, I get it, man. I mean, out of, I guess there is some good in having it locked like that to where nothing bad, transpires, but it sucks for y'all that, have worked
That
to get to
actually,
that point. Yeah,
it's
that's
like motherfucker.
that's tough.
I
Yeah,
just
you know what it is? It's like
that's
like,
tough. Yeah.
It's like at that time, like I was on my high horse. I was like the most popping I've ever been in my entire life. Everybody, like he was saying, wanted to take pictures with me. Once I lost my Instagram, people was treating me like the guy outside of 7-Eleven, like asking for change.
Yeah.
People looking at me like,
Is that?
I was like, I felt that, I was like, oh shit, like, but again, I'm a real person, I go out to a lot of events, I built a lot of relationships, I did a lot of groundwork all for social media.
Yeah.
So it's like, again, it's a tool, a credible tool to use and have, but I recommend to anybody, or I give advice to anybody, like, make sure you still go out there and meet people and greet people and be nice to people on your way up, because you're gonna see them on the way down.
That genuine interaction is important for sure, bro.
That's crazy.
That's good.
D, any last words?
No, man. I appreciate it, man. Like it's per the usual, this one is following the course of great conversation. We love our unscripted approach of just kind of hopping on and having living room talk.
Nah,
so,
man, this was needed. Like I told Gray, a lot of people reach out to me to do podcasts and stuff, and like again, I'm more about the organic vibes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you guys have an amazing platform, and I appreciate being here, able to like share some of my stories, and I'm ready to come to Nashville, man. We gotta set that up.
Let's do
we're
it,
gonna
bro.
set it up. That's a fact.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I like to say one last thing. So like every week we do these podcasts, and we've had big, like we had Murphy, we had Afro Man, we had the Loonies, Cedric the Entertainer came on the podcast, and said this was the best podcast he's ever been on, as a matter of fact, or whatever.
Because we did the same thing. We do the same thing every time.
Every week. But the one thing I will tell you, like, and I'm so happy that you hopped on this podcast.
Yeah.
Because I know you, and me and you, like, and honestly, I call Biz, he answers. If he doesn't answer and he's busy, he'll call me back the same day.
Right.
Always. That's just how he is. Or he'll shoot me a text. Always has treated me like from day one.
Right.
Like he wants to see you move forward. Like he loves to see that.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And I think that people that don't know you now, that are watching, for the new viewers that may have not seen you, what they'll get from this podcast is one, the hustle, two, the creativity, and three, the family. And I think if you have all three of those things and those core traits, you'll be successful in whatever.
Family is first. Family is first.
Family is
over
first.
everything.
Correct. Yeah.
That's for sure.
God, family, friends, God bless.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Who do you got?
How we doing?
So Biz, you wrap up the show. One last saying. Give us a
man. Listen, it's about to be a new year. It's gonna be new blessings. It's gonna be new lessons. Just health is wealth. You know what I mean? I tell everybody, don't wait for the ball to drop to run up in the gym and do some calisthenics. Stretch, yoga, anything is good. Slow motion better than no motion. Stay safe out there. Happy holidays. It's Biscuit, the biggest blogger in the world. We outside. You know the vibes.
Hell yeah.
Hey,
all right, Nastyville out. Ride around my top down, window shaking a lot now. I'ma stay proud, no Kane Brown, but I thank God for these days now. Don't make sounds, crash glass, no rebounds. End town, Nastyville, and I stay proud now.